yesterday, as of recording, the Minecraft Live trailer dropped and we saw a bunch of new features. I'm here with Goosemilk to talk about those features and talk about stuff like the Minecraft event possibly being hacked and what we think is going to happen in the future. So I guess we'll start with the big headline. Supposedly, there's a chance the Minecraft event's been hacked. Oh, there's my alarm. So the first thing we're talking about is the big headline. The Minecraft event may have been hacked. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but there's a bug that allows people to submit multiple votes using like this hacker client. And as a matter of fact, like last year, the Minecraft server on Bedrock got like completely destroyed and overtaken by hackers. This year that didn't happen, but we know that they're vulnerable to this, and they actually had a private bug report on the Minecraft bug report website. They're able to hold private reports, and we know that the private report exists for the bug that allowed them to do all this voting. And actually one of the most prominent Minecraft leakers who was able to seemingly predict what the Minecraft mobs were. Okay, so anyways, the theory is that the crab actually won, which I don't think it's true, but I think it's decently likely that like if it was to have been hacked, we won't know, and we probably never will know because it's Mojang. They're not going to be nice and be like, oh, the event was hacked, the crab won. I think the best solution moving forward would probably be, since the crab like won/lost, add the crab's ability of extended reach and not the mob themselves. I think that'd be the happy medium.
But how would they add that?
I think the trial chambers, that would be a good place to have extending building reach. Because like I've said, like I think that without a unique item, like in-cities have elytras and shulker boxes. Woodland mansions had totems of undying for a while. Nether fortresses having wither skulls and blaze rods. Without those reasons, without that special loot, I don't think anyone goes to these just like for the loot. They'll go there because they're fun, but once they've experienced them enough, they're not gonna go there anymore. They need unique loot, and I think like a claw item just in general would be useful to find in those trial chambers.
Well, also the spawners, once you defeat the enemies, they also spawn stuff like emeralds and diamonds as seen in the trailer.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting how that works. So that seems like an infinite diamond farm, but it depends what the cooldown is, because you want the cooldown to the point where it's gonna be like memorable to go back there and you want to go back. But like I don't know what the time is, like how you would do that. I don't know. I think if you make it anything less than like 30 Minecraft days, people are just gonna farm the diamonds.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a decently long one, or people are just gonna create an AFK farm to get the diamonds.
I have no clue how they would implement that. I think it's interesting. I think my guess is maybe it's a first time defeat and then it just comes back for each time afterwards. I mean, because if they did it every 30 Minecraft days, it'd be something crazy like 7.5 hours. So like 3 diamonds or 4 diamonds or whatever every 7.5 hours would not be worth it.
Yeah, I think if it's like a too short of a time, it would just like for Hermitcraft, it would break all of the currency because diamonds are usually not supposed to be farmable.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see about that. So I have a question for you. Do you think that we're gonna see any of the experimental snapshot features for the combat?
It just depends on how they release it. I think they're gonna release, maybe, I think they will. We might see it like maybe 2nd snapshot, 3rd snapshot, but probably not the first one.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a bit later, because if it was like 2 weeks from being in a snapshot, I think we would have seen it. But I'm hoping we see the experimental combat features, because it doesn't fix the combat update, but I would say it just adds a little bit that like it adds like a band-aid. Like it's a lot better. Like it adds like potions that are stackable, snowballs, food's less overpowered, and it means that you can spam click now, but the downside is that you get no knockback and no critical hits. The combat snapshots are weird. You should definitely check them out if you haven't. Anything else you think you want to predict for the update?
No, but I want an opinion on the auto crafting.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So the auto crafter, the first thing that my mind goes to is that any sort of farm that farms a product that you want the refined state of. So like for example, you want iron blocks because they're denser. Copper, you want copper blocks. Gold, you want gold blocks. Sugarcane farm, you're gonna want paper. A kelp farm, like dried kelp farm, you're gonna want kelp. All those things, that's where the autocrafter is really gonna shine for the average player. And I don't think it has any practical use other than that, because I don't see pressing a button and crafting a sword as useful, because there's a delay of redstone and there's a delay of pressing the button, and you have a specific crafter set up to do that. I don't think it's gonna be useful. But with the the crafter being used for like compacting storage, yeah, I think that's gonna be really useful.
I think it could be really useful, as you said, with the farms. I think that's the only reason I would use it is farming. Like, you could use it for bamboo farms, turning it into sticks, and then you can use those sticks to trade with villagers to make it just a little bit faster when you're mass trading for those emeralds.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But like other than that, like on the large scale, that's kind of all we saw. I mean, it's definitely good. I mean, like we saw more than that. We saw the copper blocks and the tough stone bricks. I think look really good, but they're just building blocks. That's kind of more building blocks is always better. Look, these things look cool. I can think of all the ways that they could be used and built with. The copper grates and copper doors are crazy. What do you think about the copper bulb?
I think it's a pretty cool idea that like the light rust out. I think it could add more like detail to your builds if you're using copper and stuff, and you're not like using torches.
I like the idea of the copper bulb. I think the copper bulb is cool because of like the dimming light, like you said, but I don't know. The only issue is I can see it being like the Minecraft community is never happy with a feature one way, because like what if you want blue copper but brightly lit? You're not gonna get those, and so you have to deal with it being like doled out. But I think it's interesting that Mojang has finally opened up with plain like light having been a part of your builds, and I think that could be really cool. I wonder if it's directional too, because if you look, I doubt they would do that. I doubt they'd make it directional, but if it was directional or had a directional variant, I think that'd be really cool. So you want to talk about the breeze next?
There's not really much to talk about it. I guess it's a cool mob because it does impact you. Like if it hits you, it's gonna do some damage, but if it like barely misses, and it'll do some knockback. And I also think that it's cool that it can interact with the trapdoors and stuff like that.
So I think this mob is obviously gonna be exclusive to the trial chambers, and I think that's the only way it's gonna be used. I think that it depends on how the map is built, because the way they showed it on Minecraft Live, it isn't a threat. Like it drops the trap doors to the point where they're down and they're like covered up in like the hole or whatever, but that's not really a threatening situation. I think like the only way this thing is actually threatening is if like you go into a room and there's like a room completely covered in these trap doors that's like above lava. I think that would be cool. I mean, obviously there'd obviously be like ways around it, but I think that would be cool, because especially if you run around the corner and they're procedurally generated, you run around and it's like, oh my god, there's the breeze, and it hits you and it drops the floor out beneath you. I think that's cool. But other than that, if it's not in a situation where the room is specifically designed to make it really strong, it's gonna suck, because it's gonna do knockback, but not enough to like affect anything. It's gonna be like, oh, it's funny, it blows me everywhere, and then you run over and kill it real quick, because it wouldn't be able, it's not able, I don't think it'd be strong enough to kill you, because it needs a direct hit.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool like to have like a corridor and these breeze are shooting and you just have to run by. Like they'd have to have a certain room that they're in.
They need to be designed with the room, because alone they're gonna get killed, and then if they're in a room where nothing they can activate is a threat, I don't see them being dangerous. I could see them actually being more useful to the player, because if it's an AoE, it's gonna knock all the zombies and everything everywhere. I could see that like saving you.
Do you think they're gonna be rare like the trial chambers? Do you think they're gonna be hard to find?
They're gonna be hard to find. I think they're gonna be on the same level as the ancient cities, because the larger the structure, the rarer it is. So woodland mansions and ancient cities being the largest structures are the hardest to find. Not ancient cities. Woodland mansions are like the difficulty level of near impossibility to find them. They're almost never worth it, and I think that's why it needs a special loot, because I don't want to go out and seek this trial chamber that isn't like gonna actually like give me anything besides like generic loot. I can go to like an end city and get like the best loot in the game. This is unconfirmed entirely, but they word it as if the trial chamber that we saw was either only partly combat, or that there's a combat trial chamber, that there's gonna be other types. And I think like other types of trial chambers would be cool. The only issue is that it's Minecraft, so you can break blocks. And so like a puzzle trial chamber, I think you just tear through the walls to get to the treasure rooms. So
yeah, kind of like the jungle temple. There's like this cool treasure or puzzle, but you could just mine straight through and get the treasure and leave.
Yeah, I don't see Mojang like adding a state where you can't break them. I mean, they tried to do that with the ocean temple, and it works. Like, because breaking through the ocean temple takes planning, and that at least is a fun gameplay mechanic. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna do anything that prevents you from breaking.
I was really hoping for the crab, but as we saw, the armadillo won.
One quotation marks.
Yeah, won. But I don't think they deserve to win, But I guess it's in the game now. There's nothing I can change about it. There's nothing we can change about it. I don't think I'll ever be using the armadillo's armor. I just don't tame dogs regularly in Minecraft. Maybe it'd be like for a challenge or something, like you do like 100 dogs versus something. It's stupid, but I don't see me using the armadillo.
All right, so I think that's gonna wrap up everything I had to say. If you guys made it this far, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Actually, go ahead and check out Goosemilk's channel. Link in the description, be in the end cards as well. You know, he was here talking some of the time. You know, he didn't really have much to add, of course, because, you know, that dingy boy is him. But that's besides the point. Anyways, subscribe. See you guys next time.